Welcome to my empowerment zone. Most people today agree on the problems in our economy. Unfortunately, most people aren't aware of how big they are. Where the disagreements occur is in the solutions. In this first video, we're going to cover 4 things. They are 1. Expose the problems. 2. Discuss the typical solutions that won't work. 3. Introduce you to my empowerment zone's game plan. And 4. Paul Zane Pilzer's audio series called The Entrepreneurial Challenge. Here, listen to a clip.
We are living at a period now of the most unprecedented economic opportunity you will ever experience in your lifetime. Why? Because a great crash occurred, and that crash, which we're still living in the aftermath of, is providing the opportunity for entrepreneurs to start businesses that deliver new products and services that make the consumer part with their money, or deliver the same products and services at a lower price, better value to consumers and businesses.
This is the greatest goldmine of personal economic advice ever crammed into one audio series. It's a roadmap everyone can follow. The end result for you is becoming a higher valued employee, a better prospect for employment, or you'll see a way to do something for yourself from hundreds of opportunities. You'll learn that everyone who chooses can take control of their own personal economy. And as much as we'd like to cover everything in 3 minutes, we just can't. So we hope you'll take a little time to understand the beginning point of my empowerment zone. Before you go any further, we'd like to lower your skepticism up front. We're introducing folks to stage 1 of what we're calling Empowerment University. The only offers we will make cost $5.99 or $59.96, but there's plenty that's free. Let's begin with a discussion about the problems in the U.S. economy because they are real. As a nation, we've been shoving all these problems into the future, and now they're showing up, like a tsunami that comes after the tide gets sucked out. They are here today. If you're like most people today, you're somewhat concerned, fearful, or even outraged about what's going on in our country, and for good reason. We want to identify but not dwell on the problems. We'd rather focus on the real solutions. There is one disclaimer. Here it is. Everything on this video doesn't necessarily apply to you. Some of it is meant for someone else or the next guy. Okay, here we go. Let's highlight some things you need to know about. The crash led to massive structural unemployment, which is why you're not seeing recovery in the job market the way we've known it in the past. They call it jobless recovery. State and city governments are going to start hitting a brick wall. A potential battle will ensue between the public and the private sector, which will follow with lots of screaming, yelling, and finger-pointing. It only leads to perceived winners and losers. That won't solve a thing. There's talk about $5 a gallon gas predicted by 2012. What effect will that have on you or the company you work for? I'll let you answer that. We've been a nation of debt, and the credit boom is over. People will be paying down debt with lower incomes for a longer period of time. Unfortunately, we were building our economy on this. We hope you don't buy into the idea that government is the answer. That never ends well. I would encourage you to review a little history. Look back at Mao Zedong's redistribution of wealth failures in China, or present-day bankrupt Greece and the disasters of socialism in Venezuela and Cuba. They should all warn us about what happens when government tries to enforce an equality of result rather than equality of opportunity. It doesn't make any sense to give to one person at another person's expense. And in the end, the person who was given to is really the one that gets robbed of their God-given ability. We believe seeds of greatness are in everyone. On the topic of more government spending, we suggest you listen to Walter Williams' video, The #1 Problem in America, on this website. I don't want to take time to address the following in any detail, but they are and will be major contributions to these problems. The Federal Reserve is printing money at an alarming rate, leading to inflation with the potential for hyperinflation. This will have a huge effect on everyday things like food and gas and interest rates. Public pensions are unaffordable promises made by people who weren't dealing in reality. They're a huge burden, and we can lay blame at the feet of politicians and union leaders. Social Security is anything but secure. There's unfunded stuff everywhere. Healthcare costs are climbing dramatically. There's an old saying, something that can't go on forever won't. And just like the law of gravity, you cannot cheat the laws of economics. We've just been postponing them. For the sake of understanding this video, you may have to accept some of these statements at face value. We can get into more detailed discussions at our upcoming educational workshops and seminars in Stage 2. Before we can move to the fix, we need to review the typical solutions offered today. Let's see how that's working. Everyone is talking about creating jobs. In the next elections, you'll be hearing the same thing with no solutions. What if we told you that a job may be the wrong direction and a much greater risk for most people? To use a word picture, it sounds like conversations on the deck of the Titanic. We say this for two reasons. First, the cost of hiring and employing is off the chart as a direct result of the burden of government. And second, every company is in the ongoing process of eliminating jobs through innovation and efficiencies. Many jobs of the past are like payphones or rotary phones. No one is going to go back to them with cell phones in everyone's hand. How about more education? That's what everyone is saying today. We're not against higher education if your profession requires it. This is not an either-or situation. The experts are saying MBAs are barely worth the paper they're printed on, and there are tens of thousands of young people who are graduating with $50,000 to $100,000 in loan debt with very little chance of securing work during the next 2 to 3 years. So people are really questioning the debt of student loans. In fact, student debt is nearing $1 trillion, which could be the next bubble to burst, leaving taxpayers on the hook for generations. And after all that, it's painful to see so many young people who are asking, where is my opportunity? Keep in mind, no politician will ever solve it regardless of party. It's up to we the people. We hope everyone understands why it's an enormous windfall gain to be born in America and why we've achieved this level of prosperity in this country. Doing the same things that got us into this mess, or more of it, just doesn't make any sense. I know this sounds a little depressing. We had to establish a certain level of understanding and hopefully agreement. So let's shift to some optimism. Let's answer the question, who is my empowerment zone? This is the result of something we started work on in the middle of 2009. We could see the problems on the horizon and felt inspired to do something about it. Here's a question. Does anyone feel secure today? We believe nothing is secure unless you secure it for yourself. With my empowerment zone, the door is open to valuable information and roadmaps for the return to prosperity for all who choose. You'll learn there's unlimited potential with hundreds of directions you can go. This is the primary reason for my empowerment zone. Right now, negative, fear, and worry are winning. They need to be replaced with proven principles, education, faith, and belief. Every individual can be empowered, but in order to believe that statement, you'll have to accept two facts, especially number two. They are, 1, life isn't fair, and 2, the reality of unlimited economic opportunity. It exists if you continue with our information and you know where to look. These are very important for everyone to understand if you don't already know them. Now, back to optimism. We believe it's dumb to waste our economic freedom and liberty. We find it strange when people are telling us how great other nations are. If they're so great, why aren't they moving to those countries? In Nigeria, people line up and sleep in the grass at 10 o'clock at night, trying to be first in line to get a visa to come to this country. That's incredible. Okay, we'll lighten up a little bit here. It's fun to use famous movie lines like the one from A Few Good Men, the famous scene with Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise. Here, listen.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
We believe citizens want the truth because we believe they can handle it. There are two roads you can take. It'll depend on who you choose to listen to. We hope you devour everything on this website and invest in Paul Zane Pilzer's audio series. We can fix our economic problems all a lot easier and a lot faster than you think. What we can't do is stand around and watch people pitted against each other. Here's the key. We have all of this unbelievable technology in people's hands, and the knowledge of the greatest minds today available for next to nothing. Was all this technology just for more entertainment or empowerment? We believe the faster people consume this information, the quicker we can get to stage 2. We have the greatest opportunity in all of history for everyone to have an opportunity. If everyone spent half the time learning the information harnessed on this one website as they do on video games, text messaging, Facebook, watching reality shows, and YouTube, the American economy would explode in the next couple years. The end result for you is, like we said, one of three things. You'll become the most valuable employee, or the best prospect for employment, or you'll do something for yourself. Maybe a combination. Let me point out, this has nothing to do with your age, your race, your education, or how much money you make today. This is about what is true and what is good economically for all citizens. This is all about your personal economy. So on to segment 2, how to fix it.